Hello everyone and welcome to Plus Equal. Today we'll be moving our cube. I'll teach you how to move a game object with a simple script. So let's begin. Let's keep up with the last tutorial. Tutorial number 8. I don't know if you have been keeping up with the tutorials, but I really recommend you to watch these 8 tutorials before you proceed to more advanced topics. But most important is the last tutorial, because I will open the same script here than the last tutorial. I have the cube here as well with the script attached, move game object. And if you remember, I talked about some variables, a kind of introduction to the variables in the last tutorial. But today we'll be moving our cube, so let's do one thing first. First, we have already some stuff here. I will clear this, at least some variables that I don't need. I will leave this here for you for reference if you need to, but I will leave this float because in order to move a game object we will need to affect the transform, and the values that we have here, they are all floats. So the best way to move it is also from a float. So let's make this either public, or let's use the serialized field. So let's put this like serialized field. If you write it down instead of just pressing the auto completion button, you will learn how to write this. It's very important. So we already have this here. Let's save and let's see the difference in Unity. Okay, pretty good. I already have the decimal number here. However, if I hit play, nothing will happen, and that's because we are not applying any kind of force, if you want to say so, to our object. We are just declaring a variable here that have a number. Okay, but we need to apply this to our transform, right? So we know that we can't do it on start because this just happened once before the first frame update. We need this to be called every frame. So we know that we want to do this in the update as well. And we have a lot of ways to do this, but one of the most easy ways that I found is to put transform, that it's just what we talked about that we want, dot, and here we have a lot of options, but already here we see translate, and if you read into this, it says moves the transform in the direction and distance of translation, and we can see that is a vector 3. So this is exactly what we want. We want to move the transform. Let's put translate, and let's already make this like this, and let's define, for example, one direction that we want to move our object. I want to move my object in X. So you can see that X is into this direction. So I will select the object and I want it to go like this. Okay, you can see that the X value is increasing. I want something like this to my object. So translate have like the vector 3, X, Y, and Z. But in this case we'll ignore this one and this one. So I'll put 0 and I just want to move it on this position. So if I put my decimal number here, instead of writing down 5.7f, you can see that this will work. It's don't have any kind of error showing up. But we want to use our variable. We want to use decimal number. And I know that this name is kind of weird, but it's the name that we gave it in the previous tutorial. No big deal. So let's save this and let's try it out in Unity to see what happens. Sometimes this needs to compile. Let's press play. And wait a second, where is our cube? Well, if you spot here on the right, is moving. That's really what we want, but it's already in the position 8000. So it's just a question of speed of the cube, because moving 5.7 every frame, it's a lot. We might want to reduce this to something like 0.001. Let's try this out to see the difference. Now you might spot that this 5.7, this is not updating, and that's because you might want to change the values here instead of going through code. And it's the same. I could put here my value, or I could go here and reset, and this will put the value that I have in my script. Either way, make sure that this is updated and don't have here the 5.7. And let's press play now. And we can see that the cube now is moving into this direction very slowly. I might change this here to update the value. If I put something like 1 here, you can see that now it's going a little faster. And if I put 1 here, bye bye cube, see you later. And don't worry, because the value that you put here while playing, you see this color, this means that I'm in play mode. It's very important, because now that I've made these changes to try this out, I can just quit this play mode and the value is still the same. Okay, this is very important, and you can even copy them while you are in play mode and then paste it here. But yeah, that's it. We moved our game object with a simple little line of code. However, I hope you guys learned something new with this little tutorial as well. So please don't forget to leave a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to help me out. And I will see you in the next tutorial. Thank you a lot for watching. See you there.